Alright, happy morning! Muli ang inyong lingkod, Miss Horizon Chaser. At narito po sa tabi natin ang ating favorite na former secretary ng DOST na walang iba, kundi si Secretary Boy.
Happy morning, Miss Horizon. Nandito tayo sa Manila Hotel. Itong NAST annual scientific meeting tungkol sa food systems. Napaka-importante nito para sa ating kalusugan.
Yes. Happy Morning Show! Lagi kayong makinig.
Nandun tayo lahat sa Happy Morning Show.
Kanina po sa discussion mula kay Secretary hanggang po kay Academician Rocio, paki-correct kung mali po yung pagkaunawa ko. So, parang ang gusto nyo mangyari talaga, dapat maging healthy tayo lahat na mamamayang Pilipino para makaangat nga naman sa ekonomiya natin kapag po ay productive ang lahat. Kasi pag mahina nga po ang ating kalusugan at yung mental health natin, di ba po? So, paano tayo makatrabaho? Ang tanong, sisimulan natin sa dining table, sabi doon sa solution. And then, paano po natin gagawin yun kapag po ang mental health ng ating mga kababayan ay hindi po madisiplina. Ultimo nga po, mga magsasaka na mismo, hindi po health conscious sa pagkain. Yung tinatanim nga po nila, halos iba pa rin po ang kinakain, hindi yung tinatanim nila dahil nanghihinayang. And ang mental health po nila ay hindi po talaga maayos. So, papaano, bagaman nabanggit na po kanina na ibababa ninyo sa ibaba mula sa national. Pero, paano simulan nyo kung konti lang po ang ating mga psychiatrist sa bansa o sa psychology? Dahil mental health po yung involved dito kasi halos lahat alam naman natin na dapat kumain tayo ng healthy foods. Ako po, pruweba ko na yung solution dahil ginagawa ko rin po yun. Ang problem, nasa iba po hindi kayang gawin kahit gustong gawin. Thank you po.
Siguro yung pinakamagandang katawan, si Dr. Rasto.
Hindi pa mas maganda yung may pinakamagandang luta. Anyway, maganda yung katanungan. Una, we should recognize, this is based on the latest science, na yung mental health actually comes from the stomach. You may have heard about the role of gut microbiome, mga mikrobyo sa ating tiyan, sa digestive system natin, na nakakakontrol ng mental functioning. In fact, some authors claim that these small creatures in our stomach actually control us. We don't control them. So, importante na yung health nitong mikrobyo sa ating tiyan ay mapangalagaan natin. In other words, when we eat, we should consider not only of our own health, but also that of the small creatures, bacteria, and other microorganisms that are actually residing in our digestive system and playing a great role in our mental and physical health. So, how do we link this to diet? Kasi we're talking about food and nutritional security. Again, based on what we know about these microorganisms, ano ba yung kinakain nila? Ang pagkain nila, fiber, at ito, makukuha lang natin sa plant sources. Kaya, doon sa planetary health diet na sinasabi natin, talagang plant-based ito because we are concerned with the well-being, the health of these small creatures in our gut that should be kept healthy so that we will be mentally and physically healthy. Ito yung ating basis kung bakit sinasabi natin na dapat introduce natin ang planetary health diet, which is plant-based.
Kung maalala mo, Lisa, meron tayong Pinggang Pinoy na advocacy ng Food and Nutrition Research Institute. Iyan ay talagang madaling maintindihan ng masa pero kailangang palakasin pa. Siguro kailangang bigyan ng framework na tama. Bakit may school feeding program? Kasi yan, nakaka-apekto yung pagkain. Kasi chemicals lang din yan sa ating mental health capacity. And I'm very glad na ganun din ang DSWD in this administration. Tumitingnan na sila doon sa mga binibigay lalo after a major disaster na mas nutritious, pati yung foodstuff nila, requirement din sila na gano'n. So, kailangan lang nating bigyan ng example at magkaroon tayo ng mga influencer na tutularan nila. Meron din ang Philippine Council for Health Research and Development ng mga functional food na mga proyekto at siguro gusto kong i-invite si Dr. Montoya mag-explain ng konti tungkol dito.
Ay, salamat, Secretary. Yung katulad na sinabi na nga kanina, we're looking at consumer health. So it's not just the healthy nutrition, yung diet that we take is correct, but also have the right mindset to actually eat the right food. No? Kasi minsan ang mga tayo, kung ano yung nandiyan sa harapan natin, yun ang ating kinakain. But we want people to be more aware of what they eat and to choose the proper food to eat. But I also like to highlight na, and ito sa larangan naman ng education, we keep on saying we want to educate our people on the right way of eating. Pero we have to also remember na it's not just na tinuturuan natin sila kung paano kumain at ano yung mga dapat kainin. We have to also create the environment that will enable them to do such. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Example, sinasabi natin na kailangan mag-exercise. No? Exercise, alam natin yan. Pero, meron man lugar na gagawin nila exercise. Diba? Wala tayong mga parks, wala tayong mga na ginagawa na ngayon lang, yung mga biking lane for example sa mga daanan. At yung mga malalapit na lugar, nagsasakyan pa ang mga tao kasi baka mabangga ka o wala namang pwedeng daanan na maglalakad ka. So what I'm saying is, we also have to provide the environment that makes that possible. So doon papasok na yung the market, it has to be available, kailangan accessible, no? At lahat itong programa itong pagsasama-samahin na isa sa mga programa na ginagawa natin sa DOST to the Health Research Council is looking at yung yung other food options, plant-based. So we're looking now at functional food. Functional food is looking at food beyond its normal nutritive value. Kasi para mabusog ka, kakain ka. Pero bukod doon, meron pang additional benefit ka makukuha. So vitamins, minerals, and some of them are actually mga antioxidants, prevent disease, wellness. No? So tinitingnan natin yan. For example, may malaking programa on berries. No? Lahat ng mga prutas na hindi natin alam na nandyan pala. Tinitingnan natin yan based on the local eating habits of different communities in the Philippines. So we look at that. And we are now also generating the information that it is actually beyond its nutritive value, na para makakain ka lang, nutrition ka, it's beyond that. They provide additional benefits. So may mga programa na yung gano'n. Hopefully, when we have the scientific data available, we can influence first, yung fast food culture natin, no? Pinanggit din kanina, na kailangan ang fast foods natin, okay na nandyan sila, at hindi ko na masisisi, mga pamilya, madaling pumunta sa fast food kaysa magluto. Bumili ka lang, less than 100 pesos, may kakainin ka na. Balance dapat. Dapat mag-provide sila ng mga plant-based options, no? At affordable. Kasi nangyayari, meron nga, pero mahal, no? So, kaya nga, sinabi nga ni Dr. Rasco kanina, medyo complex ang ating food system. Kailangan lahat ng mga ahensya magsama-sama, no? Hindi lang agriculture, health, environment, education, sama-sama yan to address the problem of food security, health, no? So mahirap kasi sabihin na in a few sentences kung anong dapat gawin, no? But in a nutshell, we have to address that ito na kayo magandang simula na hindi na tayo dapat titingin sa beyond na yung productivity, mga farms natin, kailangan mag-produce ng more. Hindi lang yun ang makakasapat. We have to look beyond that. No? At yun nga in-elaborate na kanina na hindi lang rice, we have to look at other rice options, brown rice, ethnic rice, no, and other food options and make them accessible and available.
Dagdagan ko lang una, dating director ng PhilRice na nagsalita. Ngayon, medical expert. O, dapat maniwala na kayo. Ang isa pang ine-explore natin at ito ay isang bagong research sa aming pagpupulong sa International Center for Tropical Agriculture, Food Systems, Consumer Behavior. Pero gusto din nating tingnan yung vendor behavior. Yung sinasabi ni Dr. Montoya kanina, baka makatulong na mag-ready ka na ng complete set ng pagkain ng planetary diet. Yun yung ititanda mo kung available naman para ma-influence din nila yung consumer. So yun yung isa sa mga research na gagawin. Ang Pilipinas, baka ang Food and Nutrition Research sumali, paano ba natin ma-influence yung consumer kung meron ng mga available sa market na nagsusupply ng mga in-advocate natin?
Before we proceed to the next question of our 46th Annual Scientific Meeting, okay? So we are here to celebrate and welcome the newest members of the National Academy of Science and Technology Philippines, the premier advisory body on science and technology in our country. I am Dr. Rene Cristobal and I will be your host for this press conference. I'm from DZRH, Manila Broadcasting Company, SciCon Philippines, and Pro Media Foundation. As a fitting start, and to welcome us all, may we call on the President of NASD Philippines, Academician Jaime C. Montoya.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat at kayo ay you joined us during this 46th Annual Scientific Meeting. Much has already been discussed about the theme for this scientific meeting, which is really looking at food systems beyond productivity. No? So marami nang sinabi, nag-usap tayo kanina during the opening, and we hope to discuss them further through this press conference. We are of course very pleased to have with us no less than the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Secretary Renato Solidum Jr., and our new academician, Dom Blasco, Chair of the Applied Science Division and overall Chair of the Scientific Meeting, and our new academicians with us today.
Happy Morning Show Online, Facts and Figures News Weekly.
To lead the annual scientific meeting this year. Pleased to announce to sa ating mga kababayan that we have been instrumental in formulating national plans based on a vision that has been written 4 years ago by a multi-sectoral team coming from 14 different organizations. We're very pleased that this vision and the resulting plans are heavily vetted, both nationally and internationally, and we are quite sure that if we do well in implementing these ideas, that we will be able to address the dysfunctionalities that we have been experiencing in our food system.
Sa National Academy of Science and Technology, lalo-lalo na sa kanilang tema ngayon sa annual scientific meeting na pang-46 na anibersaryo, transforming our food system beyond productivity. Gusto ko lang bigyan ng konteksto, nabanggit na rin ni Academician Rasco to. Ang pagkain ay napakahalaga sa buhay ng tao. Pero hindi lang dapat kahit anong pagkain. Kailangan din natin kumain ng masustansya at kung hindi, maapektuhan ang ating kalusugan. Pero hindi lang kalusugan, physical, pati ang ating mental health is affected. Kaya kung titingnan natin, sa dami ng populasyon dito sa Pilipinas at mayroong magandang epekto to sa trabaho, bata ang ating workforce, kaya mayroong trabaho. Pero kung titingnan natin yung science, technology, and innovation workforce, kailangan din ng mga skilled na mga magtatrabaho. Skills and education. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ang effort sa ating national advocacies, maliban sa edukasyon, sapat na pagkain, appropriate and accessible health service. No? Kailangan ma-improve yung health service. So kapag may mga tinatagdag tayong socio-cultural shocks, may mga disaster, hindi kaya ay problema sa ekonomiya, yung hanap buhay ng mga tao ay naapektuhan, yung kapabilidad na makabili ng pagkain ay naapektuhan din. Yung mga apat na temang binanggit ko ay importante sa ating human capital development. Kasi ang ating mga kabataan ngayon, kapag hindi nakakain ng masustansyang pagkain, malnourished, stunted, at yung kanilang mental health capacity to really absorb many things, nababawasan. Kaya itong programa ngayon ng NAST sa Kasalukuyang University ay napakahalaga in light of the recent launch ng Human Capital Index na ginawa ng World Bank several weeks ago. Dito natin makikita na we need to look at our educational system, especially sa transformative years, 10 years and below. No? Yun yung kailangan pagtuunan ng pansin at kailangan nating magbigay ng masustansyang pagkain para mas maganda ang kalusugan, both physical and mental, malabanan yung mga sakit, and of course, improve on other services. Kaya nabanggit ko sa aking opening message kanina, sa side ng Department of Science and Technology, and of course with the support ng NAST, yung aming mga ginagawang effort, we will further improve it by consolidating many efforts. For example, we have the malnutrition studies by FNRI. We also have the PICARD for agriculture and scientific community, and then yung PCHRD sa health, and many others. We want to integrate it so that we can actually localize the analytics and see talaga kung saan locality ang kailangan mas malaki ang intervention. Hindi naman pare-pareho ang kailangan, kaya nga may sinasabi na inclusive, ma-address natin yung inequality. Kasi yung ibang mga lugar okay na, yung iba kailangan tulungan. So, we are developing, expanding our geospatial program na sinimulan ko sa FIVOX, where all the disaster-related data are into one platform. Gagawin natin yan. And it's very timely kasi yung tema ngayon at yung aming gagawin ay magkatugma talaga. And this would show that the whole scientific community has the same mindset now on really furthering our efforts to further improve, no, hindi lang yung production side, but how do we really address yung health and nutrition issues. Parang kung ano ang gamot, ito yung bagay na gamot sa ganitong problema. Parang ganun ang dating natin. So maraming salamat.
One of the missions, we call on first, Dr. Joseph S. Masangkay. Dr. Masangkay is recognized for his pioneering work in veterinary diagnostics and pathology. His notable achievements include identifying selenium toxicity in tamaraws and conducting the necropsy of lolong. Do you remember lolong? Hindi po ito yung mga lolo natin, ha? Lolong is the world's largest saltwater crocodile in captivity until its death on February 10, 2013, at an estimated age of 50 years old. It measured 6.17 meters long and was caught in 2011 in Agusan del Sur. So, remember lolong. Dr. Masankai's contributions for teaching and research have earned him the title of Father of Veterinary Pathology in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Joseph S. Masankay. He's the only flower of the thorns. Oh, you're not thorns, you're beautiful thorns. We have, okay, this is one of my favorite scientists, Dr. Cleophas R. Cervancia. Dr. Cervancia is recognized for her significant advancement in sustainable bee technologies. Her interdisciplinary research has enhanced crop productivity and biodiversity, established standards for bee products, and positioned the Philippines prominently in the global bee scientific community. Ladies and gentlemen, the real queen bee in person, Dr. Cleophas R. Cervancia. For his groundbreaking work in biomedical sciences, including antiviral discovery and vaccine development. He has played a key role in establishing a pioneering life science company and fostering research collaborations in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, NASD Philippines' new corresponding member, Dr. Homer T. Pantua.
Good morning and thank you very much. Now bees are really an integral part of the theme for this conference because we are speaking about food. Right, so we would like really to impress on us and the community, the greater community, on the role of bees in agriculture. So majority of the food of the plant that we raise depend largely on pollination. So I keep on mentioning that in agriculture, you think of the best variety, all those inputs, agronomic practices, in order for us to get great yield. But if the plant requires outcrossing and you do not have the bees and other pollinators, now it cannot be translated into fruit set. So, of course, rice doesn't benefit from animal pollination or bee. It's from wind pollinated. But we're speaking of other crops, high-value crops, and fruit crops. So if you could just imagine, like even mango. Now, mango is laden with pesticides. Let us accept it. So you are not sure if the mango that you're eating would be healthy, a healthy food to eat. So these best agricultural practices will come in order to ensure a food that is safe to human health as well. So it really integrates whole discipline so as for us to come up with quality food. So it's really more on the quality rather than the quantity, but of course we need to fill our hungry stomach. So that is, for pollination, and of course, if I may add to the environment, now the pollinators and bees can increase biodiversity, maintenance. Now we are not only speaking of economic crops, but the wild plants out there that are important component of the ecosystem. Now, for example, I'm currently working on avocado pollination. Now, do you know that in avocado we have plant A and plant B? So if you have the variety of A, now the flower will be female in the morning, and then in the afternoon, okay, close, and the following day in the afternoon, it will become male. And then you have the type B. Baliktad naman, siya ay sa umaga lalaki, and then, so magkatugma ang oras, and this will prevent inbreeding or crossing within the same plant, and this will enhance outcrossing, and our geneticists here will agree that the products of different variety will give a better food. So if you do not know this, we cannot optimize the yield of our crop. And even the passion fruit, the primary pollinators are the carpenter bee. So if you don't have the carpenter bee, you wouldn't have passion fruit because there is like incompatibility. Okay, so much for environment, so much for agriculture. And we go into the product. Like for example, honey. Honey is an energy food, but I'm not, well, it is not enough really to be like one food for all. It doesn't contain any protein. So just energy, and everybody would need energy. One advantage then, we are speaking about quality. Now honey consists of course, simple sugar, but the sucrose content is very minimal, like 5% compared with the 95% sucrose that we put in our coffee. So if you are avoiding sugar for some reasons, now honey may be best, but our major concern, now we maybe call on the relevant agency, is the proliferation of adulterated honey. And based on the study of the OST, Philippine Nuclear Research Institute, 80% of the honey sold in the market, 80% is adulterated. So meaning to say that, we will have diabetes for that matter. So it's one of the major concerns. We have brought this attention to like FDA and DTI and so on. So I think we need to push more for this. Now it setbacks the economy. Now because, okay, and speaking of that, we from the university in collaboration also with the OST and Department of Agriculture, now we have developed local bees for sustainability. So we promoted the so-called stingless bees. So guys, if you want bees and you are afraid of stinging, so go for stingless bees. We have found a market for the honey of stingless bees, and it produces also propolis. So the market is open, and they agree. We have foreign market, and then we do not want into a contract because we say that we don't want to be put to jail because we cannot supply. So the deal is, it's a very sweet deal that we provide only those that we can produce. I mean the amount that we can produce. Now it is how valuable our products are. So there is the market. And so, yeah, bees for sustainability, not only for agriculture, but for food security as well. Now, I would like to view pollination as one of the factors for sustainability and food security. Okay, so I think
ngayon, sabi namin bukas sa speakers natin, yung mga traditional food na kinakain natin doon, kinain ngayon, magkakaroon ng problema. Okay, I'll give you an example. In Mindanao, kung sa kanila pag-fiesta, nag-horse fighting. Horse fighting. Although it is against animal welfare. Pero ginagawa nila. Ngayon, sa horse fighting, chances are, may mamamatay na kabayo. Sa kanila, no big deal yun. Kasi sayang yung kabayo. Pag namatay, kakainin as horse meat. Kaya ginagawa nila na walang nangyayari. Walang nangyayari sa kanila. But one time, may namatay na kabayo. Sabi nila, sayang, kainin yung kami. Hindi nila alam na yung kabayo pala ay namatay dahil sa Hendra virus. Hendra virus. So kinain nila yun. May namatay na dalawa, tatlong tao, pati mga aso na kumain. Ngayon, dumating talaga yung CDC, even the Department of Health pumunta doon, pati RITM, inimbestigahan. And they were able to isolate the Hendra virus from the horse. So, paano nagkaroon ng ganun? Dati naman, wala tayo nun nagkaroon. Ngayon, isang theory namin, it happened in 2014 nung nagsunog ang Indonesia and Malaysia to clear the forest to plant palm oil. Ngayon, itong malalaking bats, especially the flying foxes, they can negotiate a long-distance flight from the place maybe in Borneo up to Mindanao. And also they have proven that if you tag the big bat, it can cross from Batanes to Taiwan. So kung may dala silang sakit, tinatawag natin transboundary animal diseases, pwede nila madala. Hindi nila kailangan ng passport or visa para makapunta sa ibang bansa. So, ganun na nangyari. Nung tinrace nila yun, talagang galing sa bat yung virus. Ngayon, food security, the quality mo. Hindi naman masama kainin karne ng kabayo. Actually, sa France, talagang delicacy nila yan. Ano? Ngayon, sa isang piyesta naman, at sa isang kasalan, may mga nagkasakit din. Nung tinrace nila, saan galing ang sakit ng mga namiyesta at nagpakasalan? Galing pala sa fermented coconut sap. Tinatawag natin tuba sa mga Bisaya, bahalina. No? Paano nangyari yun? Inobserba nila na kapag sa gabi pala, yung sinasahod nilang sap, pinupuntahan ng bats. Pag dila ng bats, kung meron siyang hendra, meron din. So yun ang sinasabi natin na kailangan pag-ingatan. Ngayon, hindi mo naman sa inyong pabawaan, huwag kayong iinom na bahalina. No? Naisip ko, paano mo maiiwasan ngayon yun? Para matulungan din natin yung mga mananggiti, yung mga kukuha ng mga sap. Maybe DOST or the Specialty Mechanical Group can design a container that will be bat-proof. Hindi pwede din. So yun yung importante. At ngayon din, in relation also to vaccine production in animals, you know, recently yung African swine fever and the bird flu, it really caused a lot of devastation in the meat and egg supplies. So kung magawa natin ng ano yan, ng intervention in the form of vaccine with Dr. Homer can do, laking bagay yun. Kasi nga, sa atin, actually, akala natin libre na tayo sa bird flu eh. Kasi matagal tayo hindi tinatamaan. Pero tinamaan din tayo. So yun ang role ng veterinarians is to assure food security aside from quantity is quality. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Masangkay, and of course, research in biomedical sciences and farm productivity and of course, health nutrition. Human beings naman tayo, sir.
Human beings and animals.
Yeah.
Food security is basically, sabi nga ni Dr. Masangkay, pati quality, no? So, pag sinabi natin food security, we also have to consider food safety. No? So, ang food security, pinag-usapan natin kanina mga plants, kami naman ni Dr. Masangkay sa animal health. So, animal is, provides us high-value protein. And infectious diseases still remain the major cause of losses in animal production. So, and when we see infectious diseases, there are, in layman's term, may dalawa tayo dapat na i-consider. Merong infectious diseases na nakaka-apekto lang sa hayop, meron din naman infectious diseases na nakaka-apekto sa hayop at saka sa tao. Kaya kailangan natin i-consider din yung food safety. Hindi lang basta quantity, food security is just not quantity. Quality, food security. So anong ginagawa namin bilang scientifico para ma-meet namin yung food security and food safety and also human health? Dapat tagni-tagni ito, hindi ito dapat magkakahiwalay. Kaya maganda nagko-collaborate lahat. So, in terms of food security, ginagawa namin scientifico, ini-ensure namin na yung production, yung animal assets natin ay napoprotektahan natin sa mga preventable diseases. Marami namang mga sakit na preventable. So, kaya ginagawa namin, pinag-aaralan namin yung mikrobyo para makagawa tayo ng bakuna. So, lagi namin ang sinasabi, the first step to control and prevention is knowing the enemy. ang kagandahan ngayon nangyayari, yung gobyerno natin tumataya sa mga scientifico, tulad ng Virology Institute of the Philippines, mga grants and aids na binibigay nila. Meron na tayong mga suporta para pag-aralan natin yung mikrobyo. Dati ang alam lang natin, positive, negative. Ngayon alam na natin, itong mikrobyo bang ito ay anong serotype niya, anong serovar niya, anong genotype niya. Ang ibig sabihin may pagkakaiba bawat mikrobyo. Ngayon, pag alam na natin yun, mas tama ngayon, nabibigyan tayo ng meaningful information para makagawa ng tamang diagnostics, makagawa ng tamang bakuna. So, ganun din sa hayop, ganun din sa tao. Pero bakit importante yung magkasama siyang pinag-aaralan? Kasi yung food safety, tulad nga ng sabi ni Dr. Masangkay, may mga sakit na nakahawa sa tao. So, hindi lang yung Hendra, Nipah virus, katulad lang din ng Salmonella, simpleng bacteria. Kailangan ma-ensure natin na yung mga pagkain natin, yung mga high-value protein tulad ng meat, ng eggs, ay free from these bacteria. So paano natutulungan ng scientific yan? Ngayon, alam na natin kung saan nakukuha, saan nanggagaling, paano natatransmit, ano ang pagkakaiba ng bawat mikrobyo, at paano natin sila mapupuksa. At paano natin sila mapupuksa is surveillance. Napaka-importante ng surveillance. So ang ginagawa ng mga researchers at scientifico natin, tinitingnan natin ngayon, simula sa production chain, simula sa farm hanggang dun sa market, tinitingnan na natin, meron bang presence ng mikrobyo? Kung meron, anong klaseng mikrobyo yan? Nakakahawa ba yan sa hayop, sa tao? At maraming salamat sa tulong ng DOST, sinusuportahan nila yan ngayon. Isa tulad dun sa sinasabi ni Dr. Masangkay na Hendra and Nipah virus doon sa Mindanao. Ang ginagawa ngayon ng mga scientifico, for the past 4 years, nakaranas tayo ng COVID, no? Nagkaroon ng pandemya, hindi lahat ng bansa handa. Ngayon, ang ginagawa ng mga scientifico sa tulong ng DOST, tinitignan na natin ngayon yung mga mikrobyo bago pa may mangyaring pandemya. Katulad nung sinasabi ni Dr. Masangkay na sa bats, meron tayong proyekto ngayon na tinitignan na natin ano-ano bang mikrobyo ang meron sa bats na maaaring mag-cause ng pandemya dito sa ating bansa o sa iba't ibang lugar bago pa mangyari. So, pag nalaman natin yung mga impormasyon na yun, maaari tayong gumawa ng diagnostics, maaari tayong gumawa ng mga bakuna. So, pero bago natin magawa yun, kailangan ng information. And information is always good when it's science-based. And that helps us push development, yung productivity, yung una-una kasi dapat information gathering, development of application, and then we push for outcomes or yun na yung mga productivity natin, prevention and control. So yun ang contribution ng science para sa food security in a total.
Beyond farm productivity, and I agree naman that we have to really address the issues regarding equity, sustainability, and environmental protection from farm to table. Lahat ng klase ng industry ay involved. So from inputs like yung mga fertilizer, o kaya yung equipment that we use for farming and processing. Okay? Nandyan din yung aspeto ng packaging. Mahalaga din ang role ng ating nasa packaging industry, yung transport, yung distribution, and even energy, okay, has a big role to play. And so all of this will have an input on productivity and quality. And as mentioned by Secretary Solidum, marami na naumpisahan about smart systems, okay, to be used in the entire supply chain. Okay. However, I think it is probably important to think about it in terms of having integrated systems, Kasi when we talk of, let us say, a particular commodity or crop, okay, mahalaga na yung mga lahat na involved doon ay nagkakaintindihan, no? Kahit na ang produkto mo lang ay isang crop like sabihin na nating dragon fruit, no? Pero ang daming involved dyan, mahalaga na sila ay parang nagkakasundo-sundo at nagkakaugnayan, no? Nang sa ganun ay magamit nila to the best, ano, maging optimal use of resources and also maximize the returns that they can get. So I also would like to say that ang ating industry, okay, alam ninyo, ang tagal na natin pinag-uusapan yung industry, academic, government collaboration in science and technology, in research and development. Pero meron ngang nagbigay ng observation, and I tend to agree na most of the industries, companies that are talking about collaboration, sabi nila parang token lang, ano? Para bang ginagawa lang nilang CSR. Okay? When in fact it should be part of the business model, no? So sabi nga magbibigay ng konting pera para magkaroon ng scholarship, okay, magpapa-photo-op, that's it. Okay? When in fact talagang dapat ay mas serious sila about making it part of the business model. Siguro din on the part of government, pwede na akong magsalita. I think marami tayong R&D na ginagawa na hindi nagagamit. Alam naman ng DOST yan no? And so I think yung sistema natin na puro, most of the time, although hindi na siguro ngayon, most of the time, yung pagpili ng projects nang gagaling bottom up. May mga nagsasubmit, pag nakalusot, yun na. Okay? When in fact, sa tingin ko, ang daming research and development dapat manggaling top-down. Yung gusto nang nasa itaas ang gawin, okay? Para talagang maramdaman yung epekto. Kasi ang dami natin ginagastos na R&D. 10 taon na, wala pa akong nakikitang pakinabang. I mean, hindi naman kasalanan ng DOST, pero I think we should realize that. Thank you.
Happy morning, Mr. Horizon. Nandito tayo sa Manila Hotel. Itong NASTA Annual Scientific Meeting tungkol sa food systems. Napaka-importante nito para sa ating kalusugan, para sa ekonomiya, para sa lahat ng taong bayan. So sana yung mga resolutions na pinisenta namin sa mga department ng gobyerno ay sana sundan. Basahin yung mga resolution dahil ito yung mga. So maraming salamat.
Happy morning, Mr. Horizon. Maraming salamat po sa inyong suporta. Sa muli.
Ang ating favorite na former secretary ng DOST na walang iba, kundi si Secretary Boy de la Peña. Sec Boy, kumusta po tayo?
Magandang umaga sa lahat ng ating mga kapilala at kaibigan. Ako'y narito ngayon sa 46th Annual Scientific Meeting ng National Academy of Science and Technology dito sa Manila Hotel. At tamang-tama ang kanilang tema para sa taon na ito. Unang-una, binanggit nila yung beyond farm productivity. Siyempre, importante na mapaganda talaga ang productivity sa ating farm. At maraming paraan dyan na tatalakayan din ngayon. At pagkaraan doon, ang gusto mong ipakita dito, halimbawa, na-address yung farm productivity, kailangan din ma-address natin yung nakikita nating kakulangan. Unang-una, hindi pantay-pantay na pinakikinabangan ng lahat ng Pilipino kung ano man ang ating napuproduce. Meron pa rin hindi nakakatikim o nakakapakinabang. Pangalawa ay kailangan kung ano man yung ating magamit na mga sistema for farm productivity na ito ay maging sustainable o kahit anong panahon ay tuloy-tuloy. At lastly, dahil tayo ay napaka-conscious ngayon sa ating conservation of our environment, our biodiversity, at lahat ng ating natural resources, ayon na rin sa sustainable development goals. Gusto natin, ano man ang ating gawin ay ma-maintain pa rin natin. Gusto natin maging anyo o kalagayan ng ating kapaligiran, yung ating environment. and concern. So, mahalaga ang annual scientific meeting ito at ako naman ay gagalak at inararangal ko na sa taong ito ay ma-elect ako bilang isang academician ng National Academy of Science. Maraming salamat.
Congratulations po, Sec. At kumustahin na rin po namin kayo. Tuta nandito na po. At yun nga, at yung, di ba po, nag-retire po tayo. Pero yung habang po nag-retire po kayo, ano po yung mga ginagawa po natin sa ngayon? And para malaman pa rin ang mga tagahanga nyo po dahil na-miss po kayo.
Well, unang-una ay malaki ang panahong inuukol ko para sa ating hangarin na maging aware ang ating mga kabataan at ating mga kababayan tungkol sa kahalagaan ng science and technology and innovation. Kaya ngayon bilang chairman ng Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology na isang apat na puntang foundation na ay busy kami sa pag-install ng mga science centers sa iba't lugar, lalo na sa mga remote places at sa pagdadala ng ating mga interactive activities for science and technology sa mga lugar na mahirap marating talaga at kailangan makita yun ng mga bata. Tumutulong din kami sa very practical ways of training our basic innovation teachers sa pagtuturo ng science and mathematics dahil alam naman natin sa mga rural areas ay halos wala silang gamit bilang kontribusyon naman sa ating hangarin na paparami ang mga ating mga entrepreneur at enterprises na gumagamit ng technology para sa kanilang mga negosyo ay bilang chair din ng Entrepreneur Volunteers Foundation Incorporated. Ito ay 27-year-old organization. Tumutulong kami sa para maturuan, mag-guide, mentor ang mga entrepreneurs natin, startup entrepreneurs, ay mga maliliit na entrepreneurs na mag-grow ng mga businesses. Meron tayo mga volunteer consultants na nagtututo ng panahon para sa mga one-on-one guidance para din sa mga group training. And siguro pagkitin ko rin na ito ay magdadaos na tatlong annual convention sa September 9, 2024. Dito rin sa Manila Hotel. At dito ay ang tema natin ay ensuring food security through science, technology, and innovation. So related din sa theme ng National Academy of Science and Technology. At meron kaming tatlong seminars in the 3 major islands before the annual convention. So ang una ay sa June 30 sa gagawin sa Los Baños. Okay. Ang tema dito ay smart agriculture. Susunod ang gagawin sa Leyte at yun naman ay sa role ng kooperatiba para sa food security. And lastly, huli, gagawin naman sa Marpen. Ang tema naman ay the role of startup.
Sir, grabe naman po yung mga ginagawa niyo. Kaya ako natutuwa or nagagalak dito kay Sir Boy kasi nag-retired. Pero sa dami-dami pa rin ng kanyang mga sinabi, yun pa rin pala kayong mga gagawin. So, grabe po yung...
And dito ako ngayon, dumating ako ng alas 2 ng madaling araw, galing sa Davao, dahil gano'n sa mga ginagawa namin.
Alright.
Salamat.
Ganun pa rin po si Sec Boy talaga. Kaya, Sec, thank you so much sa walang sawang paglilingkod sa ating bansa kahit po nag-retire na po kayo. Thank you so much.
Ano tawag dito? NGOs lang.
Sobrang daming ginagawa. Actually, pinutol niya na lang yun. Alright, so yan po ang ating update sa ating training former secretary ng ating bansa sa US. Thank you po, Sec.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eric.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Just 3%.
In the discussions, we recognize that intercommunicable diseases require promoting healthy diets and sustainable scientific meeting serves as a platform for dialogue, collaboration, and innovation.
Siya po ay ano,
Ikuha mo sa secretary, doon dito. Hindi kasi ganito yun. This is the rice strips. No? So rice strips did not really come from the Philippines. It came from the UK and it's all over the world now.
Paano siya napunta dyan?
Invasive kasi sila. They can be airborne, they can be yes, they can be airborne, they can be
Marami pa.
One USD for you!
Ulit!
Thank you!
Focus on the planetary.
Kung hindi
Sa mental health po,
si Dr. Renata. Yes.
Happy Morning Show! Lagi kayong makinig.
Nandun tayo lahat sa Happy Morning Show.
Kailangan ng kay Sushi Bar. Alright, so abangan kung ano ang susunod na mga pangyayari dito sa DOST Rizal. Ang kape na gustong-gusto ko. Kaya tayo na magkape sa Health and Sight Wellness.
Opisina dito sa Triumph, Quezon City. Kaya tara, subukan natin ang Health and Sight Wellness 15-in-1 Herbal Coffee kung gaano ito kasarap.
Nagkakape ka na, nagba-vitamins ka pa.
Guys, so i-try natin yung kape kung gaano ito kasarap. Tikman natin gaano ito kasarap. Libre lang dito sa Health and Sight kapag po dumalaw kayo, ano? Diba? Uy, tingnan niyo po, mga kababayan po. Ang bango sobrang bango. Diba? Kapag medyo stress ka, wala talaga yung stress mo. Ganito kabango yung kape. Yung mahilig sa brewed coffee, parang ganun din yun. Sarap po talaga kahit alam ko natikman ko na ito. Ulit-ulitin mo. Hahanap-hanapin niyo po. Totoo, talaga ito yung kape na gustong-gusto ko. Kaya sana matikman niyo rin po at tsak magugustuhan niyo. Happy morning! So, lumipat na po kasi ang Health and Sight Wellness. Dati po doon sila sa Mother Ignacia. Dahil syempre, dahil napakasarap ng kape at mahusay ang mga produkto, natural lamang na umuunlad po ang isang company. Ayan, so dito na tayo, napakagandang kumpanya ngayon ng Health and Sight Wellness. Kaya sa mga gusto pong pumunta rito ay alamin niyo lamang sa kanilang website.
Di ang inyong lingkod, Liz Horizon Chaser. Dito nagtatapos ang ating nalakap na mga balita at nag-uulat. Happy morning!